And we're live. Gonna sit here for a second, let a couple of people get in here, let this mobile YouTube thing get itself together, and yeah, gonna wait a couple of seconds. Dogs are out in the yard playing. Hey guys, if you're tuning in, be sure to hit that like button so that I know you're here, and drop a comment. What's going on, Shayna? What's going on, Adrian? Hope everybody's doing well today. Hope everybody's having a great time. Eva. Let me know in the comments if you are just starting your new semester. What's going on, Deanna? Ray, what's good? Want to get on here and hang out with you guys for a little bit. Had a couple of minutes to burn. Wanted to hang out, maybe answer any questions that you might have. I always enjoy getting on here and streaming. What's up, Tim? What's up, Mike? Hope everybody's doing well. What's up, August? Great name. My birth month, by the way. Just had a birthday. Nobody said happy birthday to me. I'm real upset about it. You're from Ohio and you love the channel. Appreciate it. Sean, you got your first med-surg exam tomorrow. Hope you're studying. What you doing here on the stream? What are you doing? You started your second year of nursing school. Awesome. You're halfway there. You're from India. That's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the belated birthdays. Javi, what's happening? South Africa. That's awesome, man. That's awesome that the reach has gotten out that far. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, for subscribing. If you didn't hear me from the beginning, hit that like button. Don't leave me hanging. Show me some love. Taking the NCLEX October 5th. Oh, man, that's coming up quick. That's coming up fast. Good luck to you. You want to go into the ER or the ICU, but you're scared you will suck? No, man, don't have that mindset. Don't have that mentality. Be confident in yourself. You can get it done. Let's see. Just started med-surg 2 and capstone, taking the PN NCLEX after the semester, then bridging into a year. Any advice on the transition? Unfortunately, I don't have much advice. I'm not very familiar with that kind of a bridge. Work your ass off. That's about the best advice I can give you, unfortunately. You just started second term and you have clinicals and you're feeling overwhelmed. That's a normal feeling, man. You know this. You know that. Everybody else is feeling the same way. It's just part of the game. But this too shall pass. You graduate in April. Any advice for peds or med-surg 3? Med-surg 3, dive into the material, man. Dive in and absorb as much as you can. You know, study it very much in the same way that you would have studied anatomy and physiology. And as far as peds goes, man, you probably know better than I do, honestly. What do you suggest is the best department to do a preceptorship in? Whatever department that has a specialty that you eventually want to end up in, if that makes sense. So if you want to do ICU, try and do a preceptorship in some kind of an ICU department, so on and so forth. Just started second semester med-surg and OB test next week. Yeah, I was just talking to my wife the other day about the old my peds and OB rotation in nursing school, and just like how foreign it was of a feeling to be taking care of do those kind of clinical placements, and being a man, it was very awkward. Found out the waiting list for nursing school here in Arizona is 3 to 4 semesters. What should I do while I wait? Definitely stay brushed up on the fundamental anatomy and physiology. Stay up on that. Stay reviewing it. It's gonna be very important. And I'm sorry if like every time I stream I'm preaching A and P, but it's that important. Any advice for someone wanting to become a midwife but is too young? Too young? Why too young? Why are you too young? I'm not sure. Just started the program, brand new. Awesome, Brandon. Congratulations for getting in and for getting into it. Now it's time to put the real work in. It just started the LPN program, taking our first exam next week, and we have our farm online. Teacher is not very helpful. Any suggestions on understanding farm? I really always highly recommend NRS&G's Med Master course. I got a video on here, like everything you need to know to pass pharmacology is the name of the video. I suggest you go check it out. I kind of break down what that course is about, and you can peep the link in the description of that video to go check it out. What do you think about starting a specialty versus starting in medical then moving into one? That's a great question, man. That's really a good question. A lot of people are really have that kind of dilemma. Like, do I want to go into an ICU or an ER? Do I want to get my feet wet in med-surg first? I did a great video with Katie Kleber on here. You can type in Nurse Bass and Fresh RN ICU versus med-surg, or something along those lines. It really boils down to you knowing yourself and knowing what kind of mind you have and what kind of drive you have. If you know you eventually want to work in the ICU, for instance, then you have to ask yourself, do you feel equipped in your knowledge and in your skills and in your confidence to go right into that? Or do you think that you need some experience first? I really think it depends on you. But definitely check that video out. It's pretty helpful. And Katie Kleber did actually, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall correctly, did have some kind of general medical floor experience before moving into the ICU. So it's well worth checking out. Let's see. How do you feel about being a man on your floor? You know, what's crazy, my floor is kind of an exception as far as what I've seen, but we have a lot of men on my floor. But I love it, man. We grind it out, we get it done. Wasn't prepared for the emotional aspect of being wore out and doing so many things at once. Yeah, man. I actually, this has been kind of under wraps, and I've had a lot of things going on, so I haven't gotten a chance to record the video yet, but I'm going to be doing a collaboration with a new face. Some of you may know her, and we're going to be talking about kind of the things that, I think we're talking about the kind of things that we wish we had known or what have you going into nursing school. How do you get an A in A&P? I got a video. I'm sorry, a lot of times I feel like I'm answering questions by saying I got a video, but really I got like over 250 videos. I have a great video on how to pass or how to get straight A's in anatomy and physiology. I'm not gonna preach on here because you'll get me going and I won't stop. Go watch that video for real. It breaks it down and it tells you exactly how you should study in order to get them straight A's. All right, you just started your LPN year. Well, congratulations to you. It's so exciting seeing so many people on here like enthusiastic. They're in school, they're in programs, or they're about to be graduating and taking the NCLEX. It's a lot of excitement, man. It's a great, exciting time in your lives, man. It's awesome. Turning in your nursing school application in 2.5 weeks. You got the sad face. Don't have the sad face. It'll be okay. We all were there at one point in time. What was your favorite clinical that you did in nursing school? I had a rotation through it was basically a cardiovascular ICU / step down unit, and that was my first dose of critical care, and that was my favorite because it was when I had that epiphany, that light bulb moment, like, oh man, I finally know what I want to do as far as a specialty is concerned. So that was certainly my favorite. Other than that, though, some of the med-surg rotations, just really getting in there and getting the grind and get acclimated to patient care and time organization and things like that. How long are you going to wait to get your BSN? That's actually something that I'm looking into right now. I'm not going to wait too long. I want to start getting that ball rolling real soon because I have an end goal of CRNA, and with a little one on the way and everything, time is of the essence, so it's time for me to get to it. Let's see. My IG posts really keep you going. Well, thank you. I'm glad. ABSN or ELMSN. You're an undergrad at a university and planning on taking the prereqs after you graduate and apply to nursing school, but I don't know if I should. ABSN or ELMSN. I'm really not sure what ELMSN is or ABSN. I know what a BSN is, but not ABSN. I don't know if I'm making sense. Tips for TEAS test. I got a video. It's a hashtag Ask a Bass video, and it's about the TEAS exam. Just like the TEAS test and the NCLEX, I briefly reviewed the day before the exam. So I'm not the best person to ask, but in that video, I talk about a little resource that I used. Love listening to you, Nurse Bash. You're an awesome guy, very smart young man. Thank you. I'm trying every day, one foot in front of the other. You want to be enthusiastic, but overwhelmed is more like it. That's the constant state of the nursing student's emotion. Overwhelmed, exhausted, wore out, nervous, so on and so forth. You're a junior BSN student. I have helped tremendously. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you. I just appreciate all you guys for tuning in, man. Week after week, every video I drop, people leave comments, leave so much love. It's what makes it worth it. How long did it take you to do your prereqs? You're going to start spring, but apply next month to your local community college. It took me a little bit longer than most because when I first started going back to school, I was a what's the word? Trying not to cuss on here. I was an idiot, and I was bombing classes because I wasn't prepared for what it really meant to be a college student. So it took me a little bit longer, but for the most part, I would say 2 years is the general rule of thumb. That's how long it should take. Let's see. Any advice for kinesthetic learners? What's that, like hands-on? Is that what that means? Oh, man. Well, if we're talking about nursing school, or if you're talking about like prerequisites like A&P or micro, any kind of labs or supplemental labs that they have, lab time where you can go in there and practice spiking IVs and hanging up piggybacks or starting IVs or anything like that, any additional lab opportunity, not extracurricular, but outside of normal class time, I would recommend doing that. I have a video on physical assessment. I like how you prefaced it with that. I have vital signs and PPE next week, and the head to toe, it's very nerve-wracking. Please do a detailed video on how we can get through. Yeah, it's always nerve-wracking. It always is. I would just, my big recommendation for those kinds of things is to talk out loud the entire time that you're doing it. Say what you're doing, say why, you can say why you're doing it, but it's great whenever you're doing those head-to-toe assessments, like for checkoff purposes. It's great to be talking out loud, because if the instructor is sitting there watching you do it, you're able to get them into your mind, and they're better able to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, and to know whether you know it or not, as opposed to you sitting there quiet and just doing the assessment, and then they might be a little bit more critical of your performance, if that made sense. Sorry guys, a lot of questions here. I'm trying to scroll back. I'm working on it. Your goal is to become either an NP or a PA. Awesome. You got to make sure you hone in, figure out what you want to do. It's important now to do that, because it determines what kind of classes you're going to have to take and so on and so forth. What was your favorite and least favorite moment in nursing school? You love me. You love me. Top line. Favorite and least favorite moment in nursing school. My favorite was walking across that stage and saying deuces and being done. That was honestly my favorite moment. That was great. And my least favorite, I don't know that I can really pinpoint my least favorite moment. That's a good question. Maybe I'll think about that and come back to it. What do you think about online nursing programs such as Western Governors University? Have no clue what that is, but as far as online nursing programs go, I think it depends. If you're talking about like you already have a degree but you want to get a nursing degree and it's online, I don't recommend it. I think that your core first run through of nursing material should be on a campus, in a classroom, at actual clinical sites, doing that kind of thing. Now, if you have your ADN and you want to get your BSN and you were talking about an online program in that regard, fine, absolutely, no issue. If you're talking about a BSN, you want to get an MSN and it's online, no problem. But that foundation of nursing knowledge, you should be there hands-on, if you're able to. Now, if you're absolutely not able to and you have to work and whatever, then you gotta do what you gotta do, honestly. You're looking into CRNA one day down the line. Good luck with everything. Well, good luck to you, Patricia, and you're welcome, and I appreciate you. How do you feel about being a student nurse at a hospital? I'm thinking about working as a nursing student at a hospital. I'm confused. I'm sorry, Ray. I was trying to wrap my mind around that one. Working as a nursing student. I'm thinking about working as a nursing student at a hospital. I'm sorry, bro. I'm really working on that. Just started med-surg, and the pressure is on to memorize lab values. Yeah, that's great, right? I was not stressed to memorize them before. Was this the same for your program? Yeah, in the program, we usually have to memorize lab values: sodium 135, 145, potassium 35 to 51, yada yada yada. I get asked a lot, like, what do you think about flashcards? And for the most part, I'm really like, for my own personal use, I'm against them because they never really work for me. But I think for lab values, that would actually be like the kind of moment where flashcards would probably come in handy. Study plan, time management. What to focus on most? So much reading. If we're talking about reading, and I want everybody to listen up to this one. If we're talking about how do I got like 20 chapters to read. How do I know what to read? Nurse Nicole, N-A-C-O-L-E, has a video on how to study from a textbook. You need to go watch that video. All of you. If you're in nursing school and you got to study from a textbook. Phenomenal video. I've thought about making a video on how to study from a textbook, but I never do it. Every time I think about it, I say, no, I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to be able to make a video better than the one she made. I suggest you go check it out. Tips for getting hired at a hospital with an ADN. Holla at your boy. Yeah, I got some tips. People are telling you how hard it'll be. I mean, that's a common thing that a lot of people say, and I guess I can understand it, but really what it boils down to is the market. What is the market like? What are hospitals hiring locally where you live? For me, for instance, I graduated with an ADN. We did clinical rotations through this one major hospital, and they absorb ADNs. They hire ADNs. And so it's not an issue. And so I would think about that. I would look at whenever you're doing clinical rotations, for instance, feel free to talk to the nurses, you know. Do you have your ADN, you have your BSN, what have you, just trying to get a feel for things for whenever you graduate and where you need to be applying at. So it's really dependent upon what the market is looking at, like where you live. Let's see, guys. I'm working on it. How to become a CNA? Got a video. See that? All right. Before taking your boards, how nervous were you, and did you feel prepared? Additionally, did you feel competent or comfortable enough dealing with those patients and medications once starting in the ICU? Solid question. Before taking your boards, how nervous were you? Damn nervous. I was real nervous because I knew what was riding on it. A job was riding on it, and the possibility of having to wait however long to retake it, paying the money to retake it, and possibly having to find another job elsewhere. So the stakes were high. So yeah, I was nervous as hell. Did I feel prepared? Yeah, I felt as prepared as I could be, even though I didn't really study for it. I felt as prepared as I could be, and I don't think there was any additional crap I could have jammed in my brain beforehand. And did I feel comfortable taking care of patients and those meds once starting in the ICU? Absolutely not. No, not at all. But thankfully, once I got hired onto it was an academy, and it was a long orientation where they really just gave me lots of time and opportunity and patience to take care of, and time to get familiarity with those medications. And through time, yeah, that familiarity and comfortability came. Just started prereqs, and when I feel doubt, I watch you. That's awesome. That's a compliment, and I appreciate that. You want to be a nurse practitioner and you're freaking out all the time. What did you do to calm yourself and refocus? Trust a lot in God. I'm spiritual. I trust a lot in God, a lot of prayer, and really taking, so that was the calming part. And then the refocusing part was, what do I have riding on this? What's my 5-year plan? What do I want my life to be like? I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of being in debt. What do I want? That's how I refocused. Okay, this is the shit I got to do in order to make that a reality. So let's get to it. That's how I did it. Will you ever host a meetup? So, if anybody's interested, possibly going to be going to the, what's it called? I can't even remember what it's called now. I'm really losing it. I think it's in the NTI meetup. It's going to be in Boston in May. Look into it. There's going to be a crap load of nurses there. Lots and lots of educational opportunities and things to take away from it. Pretty sure that students can go. And if I do make it out there, more of this information will be released on my YouTube channel. But if I'm able to make it out there, I'm doing hella meetups if people are wanting to swing by. Let's see. Forgive me. I'm scrolling back. I'm taking a look. By the way, let me know. Who would be interested in meeting me? Just curious. And let me know where you are in this world, state-wise. How long was the orientation for the ICU? I think for me it was about 16 weeks of general ICU orientation, and then an additional like month and a half on my department. You would like to become a nurse, but you're still in high school. I've been looking into what it takes to become a midwife. Would it be better for me to become a midwife or a nurse midwife? Same thing. What med-surg review books helped you? Med-surg review books. The biggest thing, if you're looking for a book, and this is applicable for med-surg also, is Saunders NCLEX Prep, SAUNDERS, NCLEX Prep book. They cover a crap load of med-surg stuff, basically all the med-surg stuff that you're going to need to know for the NCLEX, and it's solid information, nitty-gritty, need-to-know information, most likely the stuff that you're going to be tested on in class, and real solid. Have you ever heard of any new or interesting specialties in nursing? Well, the travel nursing thing is cool, and the flight nurses, all that stuff. Thank you for taking the time to make our lives a little better. Well, of course. That's what I'm here for, man. That's what I'm here for. Shout out to Michael Devlin. Shout out, Mike. Keep your head up. I better go and check that out. Okay. Let's see. What was the name of the video again for studying from a textbook? It's by Nurse Nicole. N-A-C-O-L-E. Nurse Nicole, and then just put studying from a textbook. You'll find the video. And while you're there, subscribe to her ass, because she is awesome. And check out her other videos also. She's one of the few nurses that I watched damn near every single video of hers before I ever started a YouTube channel. And one of the primary inspirations for me to begin a YouTube channel. I'm just saying. I never said that before on camera. Y'all should check her ass out if you don't know who she is. Let's see. Videos are motivating. Keep them coming. Thank you, April. I intend to. What's the best advice you can give for nursing students? The best advice I can give for nursing students. Oh, man. That's a tough one, man. You're putting me on the spot here with your little smiley face. I say embrace the grind. I've said it before. Embrace the experience, the grind, everything. Be a sponge. Learn as much as you can on and off of the floor. How did you digest all the information they literally throw at you? You're not going to be able to, first of all, understand that. You got 15 chapters to read for this test, that ain't going to happen. You ain't going to read every page, every word out of every page. You try and decipher what is the nitty-gritty need-to-know information, what is just fluff that you can forget about. And it's a process. It's a process every single test, every single semester. You prepare for a test in one way and you end up making a 78 on it or something, barely making benchmark or whatever it is. Okay, what the hell, where'd I go wrong? Review the test with the instructor, talk to the instructors. That's what they're there for, if they're helpful. And you continue to reconfigure and reevaluate your studying and preparation procedures, and you go from there. You live in South Florida? I was born in South Florida. What's good? You'd love to meet. You're from St. Louis. I hear you. Hey, man, I'm just saying. NTI, look into it. I think I'm going to go. Not 100% sure yet. Did I take the HESI? No, I did not. But if you're curious about it, I always recommend this video. It's by Nurse Merce. How to study for the HESI. Check it out. From Northern Cali, Yonkers, Wisconsin, Georgia. I hear y'all. That's awesome. Got people everywhere, man. Everywhere, just trying to make it. I hear y'all. Hey, man. Look into it. Boston. What did you do to learn and memorize the assessments and which step to do them in? Repetition. Repetition over and over. If you want to really break it down, start with the head. Literally go head to toe. Start with the head and just redo the head over and over. What are the things I got to do? Head, head, head. I got to check the eyes. I got to check Perla. I got to whatever, all that stuff. Once you feel comfortable with the head, move on to the arms. I'm checking pulses. I'm doing this. I'm listening to lung sounds. And continue to do that until you're able to go from head to toe. I feel like I'm doing that too much, but I'm going to keep doing it. All right. Doing your interviews for nursing jobs, did they ask you how many times you have taken the NCLEX, or is that something they already know? That was never brought up, and I've never heard of that being brought up. And do they already know? I don't know. actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. You want to meet me? You're from St. Louis. Awesome. Oh, you said you want to meet Ashley? Oh, man. I just want to thank you for your motivation, inspiring words. When I told you I was repeating med-surg, I've now passed it. That's awesome, man. That's so awesome. 2 classes from graduating. I got goosebumps reading that. That's awesome. Congrats. Schools are playing your videos during nursing school orientations. Nicholas, what video, man? You gotta let me know. I've gotten a lot of people hitting me up like, yeah, they showed your ABG video or your dosage calculation video, but I'm always interested to hear what videos are being shown. I need to get some royalties off this. Y'all need to give me these teachers' names. I need addresses. If you worked as a CNA prior to nursing school, do you feel it helped you succeed in the program? I did not. I did not. And I don't think that it really helps people succeed in the program. I think it helps people succeed or at least feel more comfortable in clinicals. Brad, you're awesome. Oh, that's Patty. Oh, Patty. We all need to get up. We all need to get up and hang out. Shout out from Alaska. What's good? If you're still in here and you haven't hit the thumbs up, you need to do it. You're leaving me hanging. It's like I'm trying to give you a high five and you're just leaving me hanging. All right. Couple more questions, guys. Let's see. You're from Hawaii and now reside in Nevada. Oh, man. Let's see. They showed your AP video at our school. That's awesome. That's awesome. What were you prioritizing as far as lab/clinical and lecture? It's hard to study for clinical considering it's all stuff that needs to be performed. Any thoughts on making it stick? From Terrence. Terrence, let's see. Prioritizing as far as lab/clinical and lecture. Definitely lecture. Majority of my time was put studying lecture kind of things. Let's say 70% lecture, 30% skills and clinicals and things like that. If it's skills, assessments, just whatever it is, you know, going back to that one person's question, that time outside of lecture and outside of clinical, you know, because you have so much free time, right? The extra time that you manage to have, if you're able to, go to those open labs and just practice some skills, man. Practice whatever you're feeling deficient in. And as far as the rest of the stuff in clinical goes, man, it's just going to be the kind of thing that comes with time. It really is. When you're in clinical, though, be in clinical. Be there, be working, be grinding, be trying your best to manage your time. If you have to do an assessment and then you got to chart that assessment and you got meds to pass, you know, just try your damnedest to every day you go in there to get a little bit better with that time management, get a little bit better with passing meds, and it's gonna come with time, man. It really is. Let's see. NCLEX isn't private info, says Eva. I'm trying to scroll back. When you are pursuing higher education, well-known schools take a look at how many times students took the NCLEX. Words from the wise. Nicole says, yeah, I'm not gonna read that, but yeah, she's awesome. That video is awesome. Taking psych, med-surg, and working 16 hours this semester. Wishing me luck. Good luck to you. Shout out from Rockland. It can be done, man. It can be done. It's stressful. I know it is. I've been there, man. I've been there. Every time I read these kinds of comments, and people are like, dude, I'm up to here. I'm drowning, you know. Every time hold on. Let me let those dogs in. Every time I read those kinds of comments, like, I feel bad because, like, man, I know what it's like and I know how crappy it is. But I also know it can be done, and man, the light at the end of the tunnel is worth it. I'm telling you. Hold on to that. Okay, couple more. How did your wife cope with you being a nursing student? I'm married, 19 years, 2 kids, and work full-time. How did your wife handle things while you were in school? She handled it like a champ, man. She really did. Her being a nurse herself, she knew what it was going to entail. She knew the kind of sacrifice and, you know, this kind of sacrifice that it was going to require. And for the majority of the time that I was in nursing school, she was the only one working. And man, I don't know. I can't even put into words how well she handled it. All right. You got to check off on Friday. Good luck to you. Oh, lower extremities and cardiac. Any advice? Got to check lower extremities and cardiac. The head to toe assessment video. That's about as deep as I could go there. Tips for your first clinical day at a long-term care facility. To my knowledge, I had one brief rotation at a long-term care facility, and it was like we didn't do anything. The majority of it was like a what's the word? The word's eluding me right now. Basically, just we sat there, we talked to those residents, we didn't pass any meds. It was no time management. We just sat there and talked to them and played games with them and things like that. And so it was quite honestly the easiest clinical rotation that I had ever. Yeah, the easiest. Just sat there, didn't do anything, really. Maybe we had a couple of times where, you know, we'd have, we definitely had some times where we had to clean some patients up, but other than that, man, just embrace the experience and enjoy it and take it for what it is, really. Can you get admitted to Can you get admitted to med school from nursing school with an ADN? Don't know. I mean, yeah, I would imagine so. You just have to take whatever the necessary prerequisites are for med school. You may have already answered this question, but is it impossible to work as a tech while in nursing school? I worked as a tech my second semester of nursing school, but I only did a PRN, like one shift a month, quite literally. But it's absolutely possible because I graduated with people who worked full-time the whole time. They made it work. Is it easy? Hell no. But can it be done? Yep, it can be done. Shout out from Arkansas. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna answer one more. Let's see what we got. Your hubby's your biggest fan. That's great. That's great. All right. Last one right here. How rewarding is it working as a nurse looking back on all of your hard work? Jess is just killing the questions today. Great question, and I'm gonna end on that one. How rewarding is it working now as a nurse looking back on all of my hard work? So I'm going to do what I've talked about it before. I'm going to do sort of a draw my life at one point. Thank you, Catherine, by the way. I'm going to do a draw my life at some point to really let you guys know the kind of life that I've had and why graduating from nursing school and now working as a nurse is so damn rewarding. But primarily, it's extremely rewarding. Just to keep it simple and face value, it's very rewarding. You know, you go through nursing school, and man, you sacrifice so much. You guys know you're living it right now. You sacrifice so much because so much is required, and it's like when you're finally done. Here's the analogy. Here's an analogy for you. If you have seen The Shawshank Redemption, then you know. They're at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, by the way, at the end of the movie, when he's finally escaping from prison, you know, he digs the hole in the wall and he has to basically climb through like a football field long pipe full of shit to get to the other side of the fence and to have freedom, to finally have freedom. That is kind of what the feeling is of finally graduating nursing school and beginning working as a nurse. You've had to climb through all that crap that nursing school puts you through. I mean, you know it, the care plans, the clinicals, everything that you guys just told me about. You have to grind through all of that shit to get to the very end. You finally graduate. You take the NCLEX and you pass. It's like a hands in the air hallelujah moment. It really is. It feels that good. If you saw my video that I put up where I got my NCLEX results, that's the truest, rawest emotion. If you hadn't seen that, that's the truest, rawest emotion that I've probably put on here so far, because it was in real time and it was literally like, hallelujah, I finally made it. All of that hard work was worth it. So that's why I say over and over again, it's so worth it. Just keep grinding, just keep getting through it day to day, one day at a time, man, and you'll make it there. And once you make it and you pass the NCLEX and you get RN behind your name or LPN or whatever you're going after, you got it, man. You got it. You did it. All of it was worth it. Now you can start working, start making some money, and do whatever you want to do. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. I thank you guys for taking a little bit of time to hang out with me. More videos are going to be coming soon. I've been going through a lot, and I'm going to talk about that in my Draw My Life video. Just trying to stay positive and keep my head up, and keep grinding, man. Keep grinding, no matter what. Always keep going. Always keep pushing forward. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. If you're new, subscribe. Hit that like button before you leave. Go study your asses off, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.